Well, what's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Elementary Season 5, Episode 20, The Art of Sleights and Deception. So, yeah, back to this show again, because what a stellar season it's been having. So, first of all, let's talk about the main case, because, once again, we have kind of another boring case where not only is it this time we're hardly I can follow the case fine. I'm not really involved in the case. It's more like I'm just kind of watching from the outside as they're solving the case. And I've talked about this many times before. If you want to hear my rant about that, go watch my past reviews. You can see it somewhere. I can't remember which one I talked about it. But anyway, my problem with this one, though, is more the fact that it starts off as one thing, and then by the end of it, it's something completely different. At the beginning, it's about this guy who's a magician, and at first he was stealing tricks. It's like, oh, so does that have something to do with it? But then all of a sudden they find out about this book who's written by a person who apparently there was a reward if you could find out who the author was. That has nothing to do with it. By the end of it, they realize, oh, he was trying to buy this Nazi book thing, and the author of it also happened to be the author of the book, and so that's why he was killed, to keep that information from getting out. The Nazi thing didn't even come up until like the last 5 minutes of the show, so I'm just like, seriously? We're here, we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here. We're all the way over here now. Nowhere did that come up in the rest of the show. And then bam! At the very end of it, it's like, oh yeah, that's what's going on. So, that's frustrating. It's frustrating to me whenever a case has me so convinced that it's about one thing, and then finally at the very end of it, they pull out this random piece of information that has not been mentioned or talked about throughout the rest of the episode, and all of a sudden that just solves the case. It's like, oh yeah, because that wasn't important until just now for some reason. So, that's frustrating. The other part of it is Marcus and his girlfriend, what's going on there. There's the guy that Marcus had some trouble with a few episodes ago. I talked about it. I said how bullcrap the whole thing was. Just the fact that this guy kind of picks a fight with Marcus. Marcus hits him in the stomach, and there's a little bit of a scuffle, and all of a sudden Marcus is in trouble, and that guy is just completely, whatever. Oh no, we're believing him. Marcus, how dare you? But this guy, oh, he's a novel citizen over here. So I talked about how frustrating that was. Well, he's back again. This time, apparently, he gets a guy to, place false charges against Marcus. Okay, what is this guy's deal against Marcus? Well, we come to find out near the end of the episode. I can't remember. Chantel, I think is her name. She's talking to Marcus about her ex-husband and how he's like, he used to be a cop alongside of her, and she was apparently getting the promotions and he wasn't, so he was always jealous of her because of that. However, I don't know if that really qualifies what he's doing now. It's one thing if he was kind of an off person, something was off about his personality, and so whenever he started getting jealous, then all of a sudden he started getting crazy. It's like, okay, he was always a crazy person. But the way she describes it, it's like he's a normal person, but as he started getting more jealous of her, all of a sudden he turned into a psychopath. To the point where now he's trying to affect her job and Marcus's job because he's jealous of what they've got going on. And then at the end of the episode, there's this shock twist that he goes into her apartment, and of course, because he's talking to Watson, and he's entering her apartment as he's talking to her, and she's telling him that apparently they got the guy to fess up and say that her ex-husband did convince him to help out. As he's entering her apartment, I'm like, okay, yeah, she's probably dead. Now, that being said, we only see a hand and we see blood spattered on the floor. So this could be like he came in to attack her and she killed him, or it could be that she was killed, or it could be somebody was hired to kill her and that person was killed. I don't really know. It could go any number of ways, but to be honest, I don't really care. I know that sounds terrible, but we've only seen her for one episode where this guy was involved. Why do I care about her? I don't. And that's part of the problem with this show. It's like they feel like some of these characters that they're bringing on the side are important, like Sherlock's girlfriend. they brought her into the show, and all of a sudden she pops up in another episode, and they're really leaning heavily on their little relationship, trying to make us be like, oh, isn't this the best thing ever? We've seen her for like 2 episodes now, and you're trying to make us feel this really deep connection with her. Same thing here. I mean, unless she popped up in the show before, I don't remember. I only remember from that episode where her ex-husband comes in, causes trouble for Marcus, and all of a sudden he pops up again, and they're trying to get us to be like, oh, isn't this awful, guys? Feel something for this. And I don't. I don't feel anything for it. I feel like you're wasting my time. Why don't we get on to some better stories? And obviously not Shinwell, because that's an even more crap story, but seriously, I mean, that's what this season has in store for us. It's just, oh, she's dead, or possibly dead. I care about this. And I don't. So all in all, I mean, it was another bland case. But on top of that, the stuff with Chantel and Marcus doesn't really hit home like it should, because the show didn't give the proper time to it. You know, one episode isn't enough for me to really feel anything for you. And then on top of that, the premise surrounding it, one guy who apparently gets jealous and then starts causing problems. It's a soap opera. I don't want to see a soap opera. If it was one, it would be one thing if this guy had some psychological issues and that they were tackling it from that angle, but they're not. They're taking it as this guy is just a normal guy who got jealous and now he's acting like an idiot, to the point where now he's having somebody file false charges against Marcus. That's overboard. This guy is clearly a psychopath, and if they don't go down that route at some point, I'm going to be very pissed off. If they just treat it like, oh, he's just a normal guy who did some angry things. No. This is beyond just angry. But that's what it feels like. That's what this show feels like it's treating it like. So, I don't know. All in all, I'm really frustrated. Still giving me the same old crap week after week. I don't know what happened to the show, but it's really dropped off, and I'm not looking forward to it week in, week out. So that's about it for this show. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future elementary reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.